The Cost of Concordia. The following is satire and journalistic in nature. All images and media have been sourced from public record, and special care has been taken to censor names, faces, specific locations, records, and personal information of those featured to protect their privacy. Names of individuals mentioned in this video meet the criteria of public figures. Care has still been taken to keep any other information about these individuals private. Thank you for the hydrate.
The Costa Concordia, ship of dreams. It's been 8 years.
It's been
I can
80
still smell
years.
the buffets from their 5 restaurants. The casino and 3-story theater had hardly been
What?
used.
A 3-story theater? Low-key, that's neat though.
Casino and 3-story theater had hardly been used. The gym,
An indoor
the day
gym?
spa,
A
the
day
sheets
spa?
in her 1,500 luxurious cabins hadn't even been slept in. Costa Concordia cost $570 million to build.
Holy! $570 million US dollars to build this ship. Wow, I would have never guessed that number.
Concordia cost $570 million to build. And you could tell. You could really tell.
Really tell.
I remember it like it was just a few years ago. We had
Just
left
a few years
Civitavecchia,
ago.
a port in Rome, and we were making our way to Savona.
Savona.
It was day 2 of our 7-day journey. But
Oh,
that
it's a
ship,
7-day cruise.
she was cursed.
Cursed! Oh no! That is I mean, look at that. That is crazy. Wow.
But that ship,
It's very pretty.
she was
It's a very
cursed.
pretty ship.
When she premiered, the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
A bad omen. But I'm not the
Wait,
superstitious.
what? Hold on. I do want to read that. Hold on. The act of christening... Hold on. Okay. The act of christening involves breaking a bottle of champagne on the bow of the ship using a carefully rigged length of line so that when it is released by the godmother, it swings across and smashes against the ship. If the bottle fails to break, it's considered bad luck. Words of blessing are issued by members of Calgary, and toasts are made all around. The tradition of christening ships has morphed over the centuries from religious and superstitious ceremonies that once involved the slaughter of animals to bless the ship to today's celebrations of good fortune. Well, that's terrifying.
Premiered, the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
A bad omen. But I'm not the superstitious type. Nothing could go wrong on Friday the
Ladder.
13th.
Friday the 13th.
2012. On
Of
the
January
100th year
2012.
anniversary of the Titanic. On a ship that...
Oh, no way! What? The 100-year anniversary of the Titanic. What are the odds? That's actually crazy.
On a ship that's also only safety rated for 2-compartment flooding. Especially not when you have a 5-star max level captain like Francisco Scatino. a man who mysteriously rose from head of security to the position of captain within just a couple
That's
of years.
suspicious.
He knows exactly what to do in case of an emergency.
For example, when he caused this emergency in 2008, when he crashed into a port in Sicily. And in 2010, in Warnemünde, Germany, when he was steering a
Italy shipwreck captain crashed before in 2010 report. There's no footage, so here's a scene from Speed 2 cruise control.
into a port in Sicily. And in 2010, in Warnemünde, Germany, when he was steering a different ship and came into port too fast and caused another collision.
Man.
I've got a good feeling.
At what point
So let's set the scene.
do you start to question?
It's a beautiful evening.
Question that.
People are having fun on the slides, drinks at the bar, Antonio Magnotta is playing
fancy.
piano at the restaurant. Martin the Magician is setting up for his show,
Martin the Magician.
and the ship is setting up for a little detour. It's
Oh, I
called
bet it
a
is.
sail by salute. Basically,
Sail by
you
salute?
get real close to the shore and honk the horn.
Oh,
The
wait.
locals
Oh, that's
hate
a
it.
thing? I feel like that would get really obnoxious. I feel like that would get on people's nerves real quick.
You get real close to the shore and honk the horn. The locals hate it, but the customers love it, and it's a tradition. Scatino, the captain, comes into the dining hall with the lady, Dominica Samorton. Remember this face because you'll be seeing a lot of it later. Scatino
we?
eats his
Okay.
dinner with her and socializes for a little while. Then he, Dominica, and the maitre d' finish up and excuse themselves. They're heading to the bridge. It's time for that sail by salute. This time, they're going to get closer than ever.
Oh,
Just 1,500 feet
no.
from the island of Giglio. And how are they going to determine this distance? Well, of course, the captain is going to eyeball it.
You know, there's a lot of things in life that you can get away with by just eyeballing it, right? Absolutely. There's a lot of things in life you can get away with. This is not one of them. This is not one of them.
Apparently, well, of course, the captain is going to eyeball it. Apparently, it's not an uncommon thing to do. Scatino turns to the fella steering, his helmsman, Jacob Ruslibin.
What a name.
First interesting tidbit. Costa Crociere has hired Jacob from Indonesia at a rock bottom price, and he's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact,
Oh,
his profession
fantastic.
hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his first time steering a massive ship, and
What? How did they get away with hiring this dude? What? That's wild. What? That's wow. That's crazy.
bottom price. And he's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact, his profession hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his first time steering a massive ship, and he's very excited.
Oh,
At
I
least
bet he
we think he
is.
is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very well at all.
That's just the icing on the cake. Has no experience ever driving a massive ship. Does not speak English or what do you say, Italian? Fantastic. This is just looking so good.
At least we think he is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very well at all. Off to a good start. The second in command
Yep,
orders
off
the
to a
helmsman
great
to
start.
290. Now, don't be confused by these numbers, they're just the degrees on a compass. At the same
Okay.
time, the captain whips out his cell phone and calls former captain Mario Palombo, who lives on the island. They chat about the safe distance to Giglio's shores. It's all very casual. Anyway, Mario says that the safe distance is between 0.3 and 0.4 miles from shore. The
Okay.
captain is going all in. This is not his
no.
first sail by salute, so he's confident in what he's doing. We're going closer than we've ever been before.
He said, gotta go balls to the walls. Go big or go home. Go big or go home. He took that literally.
what he's doing. We're going closer than we've ever been before. The captain's eyeballing it again. New heading of 300, he tells the helmsman. Downstairs, Martin is about to cut his assistant in half. And of course, that means that there's already a lady inside this box. She's waiting for the cue, and then she'll poke her legs out. The captain is giving more orders. Pulling gently to 310. Increase speed to 16 knots. Going this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before
what
we talk
is
about
16 knots in, like, what is the conversion? Like, if you were to convert that to, like, miles per hour. That seems fast. But I don't, I'm not super familiar with, cruise ship. Roughly 18 miles per hour. That seems pretty fast for a boat that size, right? I don't really know what to compare it to.
Going this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before we talk about that,
The weight is the issue? Oh, okay, yeah.
Because at this point, the captain says 325, but the helmsman relays 315. So the first officer intervenes, and he goes, no, 335, which is also wrong. And then the captain clarifies, no, 325.
Oh my god, this communication is peak.
Their poor communication has them moving at a much wider angle than they think they are. However, the captain should and would know this, except for the next problem, complacency about procedure. The standard procedure of a ship this large is for the third officer to give exact positional coordinates every time the captain gives a new directional order.
Right,
But they're not doing that.
Oh, fantastic.
330, he says. The helmsman relays 330. The ship reaches 16 knots. The captain then turns to the second officer and instructs him to go to the left wing. That's these things here, and they basically exist so you can get a better view over the whole vessel.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
A few seconds pass, and then the mood starts to turn. Scatino notices white foam of waves breaking against the rocks directly in front of him in the distance. The Costa Concordia, right now, is almost 700 meters closer to the rocks than it should be. Without
700 meters? Oh my god.
deviation.
Hold on, I just want to go back and see that. They should be behind this green line. They are not. They are way past it. What the heck? Whoopsie doopsie. Captain, I may have fucked up.
To the rocks than it should be. Without deviation, there is going to be a direct collision.
Yeah?
Oh, shit!
Scatino immediately commands the ship to start turning away. 335. Not enough. The captain shouts, 340. The captain yells, 350. Now, remember how I said that accelerating to 16 knots was a fatal error?
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's made this ship incapable of such a drastic turn. What they've got is understeer. Here's an example.
The front end is not working. You're turning, and you're just going straight. You want to go over here, but you're going to end up over here.
So despite the order of 350, right now the bow is still only pointing at 327. Not nearly enough to miss the rock. And oh no,
yeah, I can't
it's about to
turn.
get
Yeah.
worse. That language barrier again. In these critical moments where every second counts, the helmsman wrongly relays 340. The captain snaps back, 350 starboard or we end up on the rocks. The third officer goes to assist the helmsman. Now, don't get confused by the orders from here. We're changing over to rudder instructions.
Rudders,
The captain
okay.
yells, starboard 10, starboard 20, and still it's not enough. Hard to starboard. That means as hard as it'll go. But at this point, even if they clear these rocks, they need to get the rest of the ship to swing around it. So the captain yells, midship, which centers the rudder. The bow is now less than 150 meters from Skull Rock.
Oh,
Port
shit.
10. But the helmsman only gets to port 5 before another order is given 2 seconds later. Port 20. They might just avoid disaster here, maybe. But then, oh no.
Uh-oh.
One more time, the helmsman cocks up at the worst possible moment. The helmsman goes to starboard instead of port, undoing the swing. 8 seconds later, he realizes the error and corrects, but it's too
It's too late. Yeah.
He has just turned a probable near miss into a sure hit. All they can do now is hold on
their
as
whole
the
back
bow of the
end's
ship
gonna get
narrowly
smacked.
passes by the rocks. Hard to port. The second officer yells, "We're gonna hit!" Collision.
Ooh. Oh, man. Yeah, their back end swang right into it. They're underwater. The slow-mo. No, not the coffee. Not the noodles, the spaghetti.
Downtown, Nordtown.
Oh, NordVPN.
It's day 56 of playing
Oh my
Russian
God.
roulette. Seems I never win.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Somebody has to.
Drinking all by yourself, handsome.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Somebody has to.
I hear you're a man who's good at finding folks.
I'm many things.
I'm looking for this fella. I got to find
This
him.
video is
It's
not
breaking my
available in
little
your
heart.
I'll see what I
country.
can do. I have contacts in thousands of servers in dozens of countries across the globe. And just like that, she was gone. The only thing she left was a calling card. Sometimes when you follow a case, it follows you back.
Oh, does it now?
NordVPN can protect my online data. But who can protect me? From myself. When they said this job gets easier, it was just another lie.
Not even
Forensics
NordVPN
found
can
his
protect
passwords
you
spread
from
all the way down the
yourself.
block. In a perfect world, we'd all use
The
NordVPN.
laptop. Well, I mean, I guess that's one way to put a cigarette out.
Spread all the way down the block. In a perfect world, we'd all use NordVPN. But I guess this isn't that kind of story. I took the brakes off my car. Man like me never really...
What? I just realized what he said. I took the brakes off my car. No brakes. Can't stop. Won't stop. That's fucking right. That's fucking right.
I took the brakes off my car. Man like me, he never really learned how to stop.
You can hear him breaking character. You can hear him. He's trying so hard to keep it together. Oh my goodness.
Man like me, never really learned how to stop.
You can hear him.
I took the steering wheel out too. I let the
not the
road take me
steering
where
wheel.
I'm supposed to be. That's right, Toots. Your husband's dead.
No.
Christmas. Go to
Tragic. Absolutely
NordVPN.com/internet store
tragic.
for a huge discount on a 2-year plan. Ad over.
And over.
The ship hits rocks on the port side. A
Oh, boy.
53-meter gash opens up in the hull.
53
Thousands of
meter
tons of water
gash.
begin pouring in. A loud scraping and bang is heard by all passengers. At the helm, there's panic. Rumblings in the dining room. Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's
You know,
helping.
I know it's very far and very few in between, but this is why I'm like terrified to go on a cruise. I know the chances of it happening are very slim. And I know how to swim. Like, that's not a problem. But still, it's like one of those irrational fears, right? Ugh, but yeah.
Panic. Rumblings in the dining room. Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's helping his assistant into the box. Meanwhile,
Right.
the lady inside
Let me
is
out, let
trapped
me
and
out.
terrified. There's confusion
Yeah,
across the
at
ship.
that point, why
All of the
didn't
crew
they let
off
her
shift
out?
come back on duty. All officers run to the bridge. Technical crews run down
Incompetent
to the lower decks to assess
helmsman.
damage.
They all of them. The captain, the helmsman, second mate or whatever. They're all miscommunication, language barrier. The helm's third officer. Thank you. Yeah, I think they're all at fault to some degree.
All officers run to the bridge. Technical crews run down to the lower decks to assess damage. On connection with the rocks, they lose propulsion and slow
Oh,
to 8.3
no.
knots. And they are now adrift.
Oh,
Close the watertight doors
man.
at stern. Enormous volumes of water are pouring in. So much so that within 29 seconds of collision, all 6 engines stop working through flooding.
What? 29 seconds. And all the engines stopped working. That is absolutely terrifying.
9 seconds of collision, all 6 engines stop working through
They
flooding.
hit the worst compartments.
22
Yeah, I
seconds
can
later,
see
a
that.
blackout happens. Lights, electrics, the water pumps too.
Oh, the
Everything.
electrical,
The
everything.
captain orders the helmsman
Yeah.
hard starboard. This is the final position of the rudder before power to that too is lost.
Is lost.
The Costa Concordia, now without power,
They're
is
Tokyo drifting
starboard, plunged into absolute darkness.
That would be terrifying.
A quick
And I imagine there's like backup, like I guess what was the word I'm looking for? Like some kind of backup for the electricity at least. There are. Gotcha. There's batteries, backup batteries, and like power. Oh my god, I'm blanking. I cannot. My brain is not braining today. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. In case of emergency backup stuff, there were till the compartments flooded.
into absolute
I'm
darkness.
sorry, my brain is not braining today. It's been a long day. I
quick breakdown of the flooding.
apologize.
When the Concordia struck land,
They take
the
a
door
second to
opened
kick
3
off during a
watertight
blackout.
compartments.
Oh,
At first, compartment 5, which filled very rapidly.
Oh, man,
Then 6
okay.
more slowly, 4 shortly after. Then 7, 8,
Okay.
and 3. Modern ships are built to withstand 2 compartment breaches. These compartments especially, though, are a problem because they contain the engines
the
and
engines,
the electrics.
right?
These main generators give power to the whole ship. From propulsion motors to rudder to hotel functions. Pretty much
Literally everything,
When they
yeah.
went out, the ship was a functionless, sinking cage.
That's terrifying. Oh my god.
A few seconds later, the emergency batteries
There
for
it goes.
internal lighting
Okay.
and communications kick on. When the lights come back on, Martin has vanished. He's ditched the stage, and it caused a huge panic in the
That was his magic act. He disappeared. This whole thing was planned so that Martin could pull off the magic act of the century. It all makes so much sense now. The captain, the helmsman, the third officer, everyone was in on it. I knew it. They were in on it so that Martin could become the best magician. And Martin made the ship disappear. Oh my god. I knew it.
back on. Martin has vanished. He's ditch the stage. And it
He
caused a
said
huge
peace.
panic in the theatre, as passengers are trying to flee to their cabins and to muster stations. People already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests.
Wait, is
Staff
this
rally
real
and try to
footage?
calm
Does anyone know? Is this real footage from the actual ship? I mean, it looks like it, but I don't want to assume. Some is, not all. Makes sense.
People already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests. Staff rally and try to calm everyone down. Everything is fine. There's no need for vests. Please return to your cabins. The emergency generator starts.
Shut the door, shut all the... Wait. Shut the doors, shut all of the watertight doors immediately. Close the watertight doors to the engine room.
All of the water...
Door 12 jamming caused major problems as water could continue to flow between the engine room and the electrical compartment.
tight doors closed except for door 12, which is jammed. The captain calls Pilot, the chief engineer, as the ship begins to list on the port side. There's water coming in? Yes, there's water. But where? The engine room. But a lot of water? Yes!
Okay, but how much water are we talking about? Like 8 ounces, a gallon, like what are we talking about roughly here? Like I need a number. All of it. All the water.
Yeah, the engine room. But a lot of water? Yes! There's water, you can't go down. Let's go down the other side. In a moment we'll start the pumps, I'll let you know. In the theatre, the whole magic box apparatus slides right off the stage and falls into the crowd, further increasing panic.
Yeah?
On the bridge, an announcement is being prepared. They are going to lie to prevent a panic. Let's just say we have a blackout.
Wait, what did that say? In case of emergency, lie to prevent panic, interfere, I can't read the rest of it. Lie, interfere, vindicate, evacuate. Is this real? Is this accurate? Live, lie, interfere, vindicate, evacuate. I want to say no. We'll have to look it up afterwards.
On the bridge, an announcement is being prepared. They are going to lie to prevent a panic. Let's just say we have a blackout.
Yeah, it's just a blackout, guys. Don't worry about it.
The deputy chief engineer enters the engine control room. He confirms to the bridge that at least compartments 5, 6, and 7 are flooded. Announcements are made.
On behalf of the captain, to inform you that due to an electrical fault, which is currently under control, we're currently in a blackout. Our technicians are working to resolve the situation and will inform you of developments as they occur. Thank you for your attention.
You know, that really wouldn't bring
at the same
me
time in the restaurant, they're playing
much
My
comfort.
Heart Will Go On, and it's very
No
much not helping the
fucking
situation.
way. No way they were playing that. That's foul.
As they occur. Thank you for your attention.
Coincidentally, at the same time in the restaurant, they're playing My Heart Will Go On, and it's very much not helping the situation. The captain calls the COSTED crisis unit. Roberto Ferrari. He tells the crisis unit that they've hit a rock, that they're assessing damages, and that they are also in a blackout. The crisis office says to reverse the ship up onto shore. Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have power to the rudder, let alone the engine. You know, hoist the sails?
Hoist the sails,
around this time,
mateys!
the wind direction creates a starboard
Oh my
lift,
god,
and
that's
the ship
so
begins to turn
scary.
anyway, drifting right back towards the shore, which is a very good thing because you want the ship to end up as close to shore as possible. A panicked passenger senses that something is off. This isn't like any electrical problem that she's ever seen.
Right,
Plus, there was a massive
especially if
crashing
stuff is sliding back and forth like that. You know, I would question it too.
This isn't like any electrical problem that she's
Ever been
seen.
on a cruise?
Plus,
I have not. I've been on like just regular boats and stuff, but I have never actually been on a cruise. When I was younger, actually, we were gonna go on. It was like a 3-day cruise with the group of homeschoolers because I was homeschooled. So it was a bunch of families that also homeschool. We were all gonna go on a cruise together, but at the time we were using like was it maps or what was that old like navigation thing that you would print out before you had like Siri and Google Maps? MapQuest, thank you. My mom had printed out MapQuest, but I guess it was the wrong address. Something went awry. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time. But unfortunately, we did not make it. We did not make it. That was the only time I've ever had like an opportunity to go on a cruise, and we ended up not making it anyway. So no, I've not been on a cruise.
there were senses that something is off. This isn't like any electrical problem that she's ever seen. Plus, there was a massive crashing noise, and now the ship is tilted. So, she contacts her daughter in Italy. The daughter then calls the police, and the police call the harbour master. While that goes on, a conversation between Pilon and Ambrosio. The diesel is not starting. The captain asks the engine room, but where have we made contact? Thinking that the incoming water can be reduced. Captain, here everything is lost. The electrical panel, everything. They're saying at this point that the ship is going down.
Oh,
the captain
no.
calls Roberto Ferrarini again. Actually, 2 compartments have been flooded, but don't worry, the ship's stability isn't in danger.
He's wrong again. The
Wrong.
ship's stability is in
Passengers
danger.
begin going
So
to
he just
muster
kept
stations on
lying? He just kept lying to the Coast Guard? What? Oh my god! That's awful!
Own initiative in danger. Wrong. Passengers begin going to muster stations on their own initiative. The cruise director says, "We have a lot of people at muster stations that I do not want to fall overboard. Do we make an announcement to tell them to go to the lounges?" Bozio says, "I think that's best." The harbour master from Livorno calls the ship. The captain tells them that we just have a blackout. How long has this blackout been going on? About 20 minutes. Have you asked passengers to put on life vests? It's just a blackout. I gotta go.
The
harbour master is
lies!
suspicious.
Oh my god,
He
yeah,
says to his
I would be
superiors that he thinks
too!
something more is going on. He calls a patrol boat to the area and asks them to look at the ship. Another problem. The fan on the emergency diesel generator isn't working properly. Pilon manually has to turn the thing on and off with a screwdriver so that it doesn't overheat and cause a fire.
Yeah,
The
that's
captain is on
not,
the
we
phone
don't
to the
want
lower decks,
that!
asking pointless questions like, "Is it still flooded?" Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh my god, this guy would piss me the fuck off. Are you sure it's still flooding? Oh my goodness, that would drive me crazy.
Pointless questions like, "Is it still flooded?" Yes. Yes, it is. The captain is essentially in denial of the situation.
Yeah, very
The harbour
much,
master calls
very
again.
much so.
Finally, he says, "The ship is taking on water through an opening in the left side and the ship is listing." He qualifies with, "No one dead or injured." The harbour master asks if he needs help. "Just a tugboat?" When in reality, they need a full rescue.
Just a
With 3
tugboat?
compartments flooded, the captain finally realizes that things are really bad and they are not going to improve. The Coast Guard orders every available ship to the scene.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, up with the passengers, the cruise director's assistant says,
We kindly ask you to return to your cabins, or if you prefer, you can stay in the lounges.
"Everything's under control. Please return to your cabins or hang about in the lounges, no problem." She said this despite knowing it was wrong and that it further endangered lives. Most
Yeah?
passengers at this point, though,
Oh my
aren't listening to this
God.
nonsense, and they're busy
I wouldn't
figuring out
listen
how
to it
abandon
either.
the ship. Bang, 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 bang. Local television has already picked up the story, and they begin broadcasting live
Oh
radio
my
feeds
god,
from the
look
bridge.
at it! Bro, I would have put on a life vest and jumped. I'd be like, get me off this. Get me off of this right now. How would Mintzey respond if given this news and was in charge? I wouldn't lie, that's for sure. For starters, I wouldn't try to bullshit my way out of it. Oh my goodness.
Already picked up the story, and they begin broadcasting live radio feed from the bridge.
Hey, Capo.
Captain, the passengers are going on board the boats. Okay, let them go to shore. So then general emergency? Wait, let me talk to Ferrarini. We risk the emergency generators that do not have cooling. It has cooling problems, 100 degrees. The cooling fan has stopped. Pilon calls the bridge and tells the safety officer they need to evacuate. The safety officer relays this to the captain, but after no response, he orders the engine room to evacuate on his own. The captain says, "No, stay. We're leaving." So what do we do?
See, I would have told him to go. I would have told him to get bent. What shall we do? What shall we do? Wait. Shall I give the emergency signal?
The captain tells Ferrarini that he's abandoning ship. Abandon ship. Another announcement is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The situation is under control. Please remain calm.
It is not under control. It is not under control. Oh my god. It is far from it. The situation is under control. Please remain calm. Wow. Yeah? I would have told the captain to get bent. Oh my goodness.
At this time, proceed to your muster station.
Proceed to your muster station. They're located outside on deck
The
4.
Livorno Coast Guard calls again. The captain declares distress. The Coast Guard officially calls for rescue operations. They contact Pietro Mille, the helicopter base commander, who then calls in every available pilot. As he rushes down to the helicopter base, Pilon shuts down the emergency generator for the final time.
He's lucky he didn't
First
start an
rescue
electrical
vessel arrives.
fire.
By this point, the lifeboats are already going. Luckily, the ship is very close to shore. Oh, perhaps too close to shore.
Oh
the ship
no, it's
forcefully
still
runs
moving.
around, creating an uneven center of gravity. And it begins heavily listing starboard. The captain issues a general emergency on board. The announcement to abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out.
Oh my
And with
god, that should have happened 20 minutes ago. That's crazy.
On board. The announcement to abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out. And with that comes panic. And now that they're listing, with many of the lifeboats too awkwardly positioned to enter the water,
Oh my
there
god,
aren't
that's
enough
so
readily available, and they
scary.
have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up and dropping them off.
I mean, at that
The patrol-
point, if it was me, I'd throw on the life vest and just jump. I know how to swim. It's close enough to shore. I could probably make it. As long as there's no, things that could eat me.
Have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up and dropping them off. The patrol boats report to the Livorno harbour master that the ship has run aground
That water
and
is
listing
cold.
heavily.
I'd be fine with
So the
that.
harbour master asks the captain about it, and the captain says, no, the ship is still floating. In
For
fact,
now?
we're trying to maneuver it onto the shore. They know he's lying.
Yeah, he's lying.
The captain then says to
Beep, beep,
bottom out the
beep.
starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless.
I hope this guy got his pilot license revoked. I don't know what it's called for ships. Captain's license. I just hope any kind of certification licensing he had, this man should never see another ship again. Oh my god. That's crazy. Everyone there sucked. Everyone involved should not be allowed to see another ship ever again.
Drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless. The deputy mayor of Giglio, Mario
Giovanni.
Pellegrini, and tobacco shop owner Giovanni Rossi arrive at the harbour. They watch the scene unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore, the deputy mayor takes the initiative and races to board one of the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts trying to find someone in charge. He gives up and starts helping passengers.
Kudos to him for
Scatino tells
going
everyone
out
to
there.
leave and take radios, but not before changing out of his uniform and into a nice suit.
What an absolute pussy. No way, bro. It's so people wouldn't recognize him. I guarantee it. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Radios, but not before changing out of his uniform and into a nice suit. Priorities. Dimitri Christidis and Silvia Coronica leave with him. The maitre d' and Sir Morton both get out of there. By this point, approximately 300 people are still on the ship.
Oh
Melee
my
reaches
God.
the helicopter base. The first helicopter, a slow-moving Augusta Bell, was already rising from the tarmac for the hour-long flight south.
An hour
Ozio is the
long?
last crew member left on the bridge, coordinating evacuation. He then leaves to help passengers board lifeboats. The bridge is now abandoned. And then, the ship's black box stops working. Apparently there are
What?
technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy and deep.
That's kind of suspicious. I don't know. That's sus.
Technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy in detail. A while later, rescue helicopters arrive, but they're struggling to find the ship because they're expecting it to still be well above water.
Oh my god.
Passengers are scaling down the port side by ladder as lifeboats return to pick them up.
This is no joke.
That's
Oh
terrifying.
my goodness.
I feel so bad for
No,
every
no.
single passenger and staff member. That is crazy.
Yes.
You're not allowed to make a film
I'm
movie.
allowed.
Who say you are?
A second helicopter, a faster model, sets off. The ship stops healing and comes to a final resting place.
Oh, at least it
Now the
slowed
Coast
down.
Guard calls the captain because he's just learned that the captain has abandoned ship. The captain claims,
What a pussy.
no, actually, I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. I'm caught.
That's totally what happened, guys. There just happened to be a bowl of pasta. I slipped and I fell face first into one of the lifeboats. Me? Abandoning ship? Never. I wouldn't ever do that intentionally. Oh my goodness.
No, actually, I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. I'm a klutz. But now that I'm on board, I may as well get back to shore. DeFalco tells the captain to get the fuck back on board.
Yeah?
And the captain kind of acts.
Oh my god. Holy crap, bro. This is insane. Vada a bordo, caso. Get back on the board, for fuck's sake. I would have been seething, actually seething. That is crazy.
And the captain kind of acts confused and then effectively refuses. So the captain makes it to shore.
Of course he does.
From here,
of
we
course
only
he
have
does.
mainstream news reports to rely on, so it's not going to be super accurate. But
Right.
they say that Giglio's police chief then finds 110 survivors on the rocks at Point Gabbianara. And among them is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there. And in fact,
I don't. At this point, do we really think he did? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nope. That is crazy.
is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there, and in fact, the police chief claimed that he just sat on the rocks and watched other people do the rescuing. A while
How
later, a rescue boat
heartless
picks up
can
the
you
captain and takes him to
be?
the harbour. He speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina. and cried to him for about 15 minutes. Then he goes to the harbour master's office to receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire life.
Deserved. Absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. I hope they tore into him like he's never been tore into before. Oh my gosh. And he's in a nice suit though, so that's a lot to dress down. Bob. Little bear. Oh, Bubba. He's meowing over there. He being mouthy. Thor says hello, chat. He's a big baby.
Office to receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire
Deserved.
life. Port authorities asked the taxi driver to take the captain back to his hotel. The captain takes the 30-second cab ride to the Bahamas hotel. According to the cabbie,
Must
he was
be
beaten
nice.
like a dog. He was cold and afraid. He only asked me where he could buy a pair of fresh socks. But then he perked right up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
No way. The audacity. The actual audacity of this man. Oh my god. That's gonna last to leave the taxi. That's crazy! The captain is usually last to abandon ship. Yeah, you would know something about that. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't! Isn't the captain supposed to go down with the ship? That's crazy! The actual audacity. That's insane. He single-handedly picked up and carried every passenger and crew back to shore. Obviously, guys. Obviously. That's crazy. Man, I have no words. Just the audacity. Please. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of that bitch.
Up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
The captain is usually the last to abandon ship.
Right.
What happened, Captain?
We were the
last to leave the ship. The audacity. I can't.
We were the last to leave the ship.
All day Saturday, rescuers searched the ship. On Sunday morning, a South Korean couple is found in their cabin, safe but shivering. They had slept through the crash and woke up unable to exit their cabin. The last survivor,
glad they're okay.
Manrico Giampandroni, was found with a broken leg. He was the cabin service director. In the end, 32 people
Look
died.
at that.
The final body was...
Oh, people did die. Oh my god. And that all could have been prevented. That all could have been prevented. That is... It makes me want to cry, like... That all could have been prevented. That's awful. Oh my god, that made me tear up. And it makes me mad because all of that could have been prevented. That's not... Oh, man. 32 people. Oh. I have a migraine. I can't cry. I can't be crying right now. But that's tragic. That's very sad. This is very, very, very sad.
wasn't. In the end, 32 people died. The final body wasn't discovered until nearly 3 years later.
Wow.
A crew member, Russell Rebello, and it's believed that he died.
Costa Concordia workers find body of the last person missing in wreckage. Remains presumed to be those of Russell Rebello, found on 8th decker of liner, says consortium breaking the ship in Genoa.
Believed that he died a hero, helping passengers.
More of a hero than his captain ever was, that's for fucking sure. Russell Rebello, the true captain of the Costa Concordia.
A crew member, Russell Rebello, and it's believed that he died a hero, helping passengers off the ship. The Costa Concordia was the largest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic.
That's wild.
And then there's the ship. This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over in the ocean.
Wow. That difference is night and day. Oh my god. That difference is night and day. Wow. I'm just speechless. That's crazy.
But this isn't the end. It's just the halfway point. What most people know is that the Costa Concordia had crashed, many dead, and that the captain abandoned ship like a coward.
Right. Fucking
But there's
coward.
a whole veritable spaghetti of
Ooh,
details
spaghetti.
to untangle. Let's dive in.
No! Okay, that got me. That got me. No, that spaghetti looked so good too. No. You savage. You absolute savage.
There's a whole veritable spaghetti of details to untangle. Let's
Oh, I
dive in.
hate that. Oh, I
There they
hate
are.
that.
The
Wait,
deep.
was this a video he actually made? Wait. I thought maybe this was just some random video he grabbed. I didn't realize he took the time and effort to do this.
Dive in. There they are.
The deets.
The deets.
Oh, I hate that. Oh! Yep. Yep, that's accurate. Looting. Oh, people absolutely would be looting that. Are you kidding me?
The Costa Concordia was more than just a floating resort. There's a mall, a casino. Cha-ching,
Yeah?
cha-ching. This iron chest was full of safes and cash registers and expensive fittings. And there were plenty of gamers prepared to sneak by authorities and try their luck in the hot zone. Within days, police divers reported that
Costa Concordia shipwreck is treasure trove of passengers' abandoned belongings. Concordia survivors blame Italy for stolen possessions. Costa Concordia survivors claim cash and jewels are missing. Yeah, I mean, that's hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on board. Of all kinds of things. Jewelry, money, you know, luxury items. That's crazy.
in the hot zone. Within days, police divers reported that valuable items, once seen lying around the ship,
Precious memories,
Now,
right? Oh, that
high-end
sucks.
liquor, expensive
Oh, the
furniture,
liquor! That's probably one of the few things that would survive, like, the salt water. Is this the salt water? I imagine it is, right? Is this fresh water or salt water that it got, you know, wrecked in. It is salt water? Okay. Is salt water salty? It's very salty water. Salt water.
We're now missing. High-end liquor, expensive furniture, dining sets, cash from the casino, cash registers, jewelry and display cabinets, safes, Japanese woodblock prints by famous 18th century artists, as well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found.
I wonder why. I wonder why it was never found. Yoink!
18th century artists, as well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found. Who steals a big fuck-off bell? Even the server admins were getting involved. 4 divers who were part of the company contracted to refloat the Concordia were spotted on CCTV, sneaking out to the ship. A patrol boat was dispatched, and the men were caught inside the fancy suites with rucksacks full of stolen goods. The 4 men are charged with stealing and thieving and pinching. Later on, stolen as well as legitimate items found their way to Amazon and eBay. Chips from the casino, postcards, and cabin access cards became highly sought after souvenirs.
It even has a watermark.
Some Australian guy even made a listing for the ship itself.
Chat, you want to buy a boat? Should we pull together? Should we pull together? You want to buy a boat? That's crazy.
It as
It's a watermark.
Some Australian guy even made a listing for the ship itself,
about lowballing.
advertising it as buyer to collect. And although there were plenty of bidders, eBay
57 bids is hilarious. The relationship.
I know you want to see Scatino go to jail, and we'll get to that. But first, we have to talk about someone else. Domnica Samorton.
That was a close one.
There was speculation that she was on the bridge that evening because she was the captain's mistress.
His lover, his mistress.
Media speculation reports that her presence distracted the captain.
I
They
mean,
both
yeah.
denied their love for years and maintained that they were just friends. Although she did later...
Yes, I was very attracted. Wait. Yes, I was very attracted to Captain Schlatino. And he was clearly interested in me. I had a big crush on him because he was very good looking and very charming.
later admit to the media that she found him handsome. And how could you not?
You so
Ew.
precious when you smile.
But she says there was no romantic link between them.
Some people would like to believe, they want to know I have something with him. It's more interesting. It's like, you know, some spicy in the story.
Miss Morton also loved the spotlight, however.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
And took several interviews.
Oh my
But
God.
as the pressure mounted upon her, she began making ominous threats to Scatino.
Francisco Scatino, I give you just 1 week to tell the truth about what happened immediately after you did the announcement to abandon ship. 1 week! The Facebook post. Did she threaten him publicly on Facebook? Yep. Yep.
Pressure mounted upon her. She began making ominous threats to Scatino, saying he must confess, and that you have but 1 week
But
to
1 week, friends.
But things from here get weird.
Spicy.
Sir Morton is a bit of a wild card. In a subsequent interview, she claimed a helicopter came to the ship well before the other rescue craft to take away a package.
A package?
And what was that package? Drugs, apparently.
Oh my God, this is just icing on the cake. Oh my God. Drugs. So the captain's probably high off his own supply.
Huh? And what was that package? Drugs,
Drugs.
apparently. So rumors began that the ship was
Costa
running
Concordia used cocaine. Italy's most feared mafia clan smuggled cocaine using the Costa Concordia. Whoa, the Costa Concordia was carrying a massive load of mafia cocaine. Oh yeah, we'll blame the mafia.
So rumors began that the ship was running narcotics for the mafia. And not without cause. A number of cruise ships, even recently, have been caught trafficking drugs. As an aside, Scatino was tested for drugs immediately after the crash.
The captain of the cruise liner that ran aground off the Italian coast last month has tested negative for drug and alcohol abuse. His lawyers and a consumer's body said, though the consumer group representing passengers said the findings were unreliable. I don't believe that for 2 seconds.
Trafficking drugs. As an aside, Scatino was tested for drugs immediately after the crash. He tested negative for drugs in his system, but trace amounts of coke.
Concordia captain passes drug test despite traces of cocaine in his hair. He wasn't using it. I don't believe that. He was dealing it. He was rolling in the deep. Good for that lustrous shine. It's how he keeps his hair healthy. Dandruff? But there's traces of cocaine in the hair. Okay. But unreliable.
Immediately after the crash. He tested negative
To his
for
dry
drugs in his
shampoo.
system, but trace amounts of cocaine were found in a hair sample.
Makes it smoother and less dry.
Nonetheless, the Concordia was searched and no drugs were reportedly ever found. How did we get here? Oh,
Good
right,
question.
helicopter. Someone commented on it again the next day and said, actually, that helicopter was...
Glamorous lover of Costa Concordia captain claims he tried to flee the sinking ship by helicopter and abandoned passengers and crew. Oh, she called him out.
Samorton commented on it again the next day and said, actually, that helicopter was just for the captain as a means of evacuation from the ship. Okay, wait. So she expected to get some sort of first-class rescue while everyone else was still stuck on the ship?
Yep.
Wait, how did we get here? Oh, right, sex with the captain. Divers were quick to head to the captain's cabin where they found Miss Samorton's lingerie and other articles of clothing as well as a makeup bag. The jig was up, but they continued denying it. Samorton mostly faded from international attention until she was...
Your Honor, I plead nuh-uh. Your Honor, I plead I did not have sex with that man.
But they continued denying it. Samorton mostly faded from international attention until she was told to appear before the court to present witness testimony. The judge pressed her to be truthful about their relationship, or she would be held in contempt.
Either tell me the truth or shut up.
So finally...
Tell me the truth or shut up. Your Honor, I plead the Bill Clinton.
She admitted it.
I did not have sex with that
Tell me the
man.
truth or shut up.
So finally, she admitted it.
Yes, I had a sentimental relationship with the captain.
Stop.
But now, stop asking about my private life.
She was indeed the captain's lover.
What is up, Trouble
Oh
Nation?
my God.
His wife with Seymour 10. Oh my God.
She and Scatino had been having an affair for several weeks. She also said that on the night she boarded, she didn't have a ticket.
Ticket, please.
And didn't need to pay because nobody questions you when you're the captain's lover.
Of course.
Naturally, she gave another confusing interview after leaving court.
I want to say that today is the second time I die, because the first time I died in the night of the crash with my psychological brain and problems.
What?
And today
What? What? Huh? That the crash caused her so much mental distress that she died inside.
of the crash with my psychological brain and problems. And today I died the second time because, of course, people find out something that I try to hide.
Subsequent to the trial, she used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist, often appearing on television.
I didn't anticipate that at all. What? All of that, and she becomes a political activist. The plot thickens. The plot continues to thicken.
She used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist, often appearing on television and radio and in articles covering protests, accompanied by pictures of her being arrested by police.
Hold on. She's complaining that there aren't enough bins in the area, and police are telling her to calm down and point out there are bins right there. I mean, fuck around and find out, lady.
Violence, women's rights,
girl power,
yada yada yada. And interestingly, part of a push to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network to Russia.
Sure.
Shares, rights,
girl power,
yada yada yada. And interestingly,
in Italy, we met her for her friendship with Francisco Chitano. At the time of the dramatic shipwreck of the Costa Concordia off the island of Giglio, during which 32 people lost their lives and many others were injured. This is what the Moldovan dancer Dominica Semorton does today, who at the time ended up in the pages of all the newspapers because she was accused of being in the company of the captain at the time of the disaster. The girl has returned to her native country and has definitely changed her life. On social media, she is an activist deployed in defense of women, now committed to collecting signatures to return 3 men accused of sexual violence against a minor to prison. A commitment that earned her fame, often the star of radio and television programs. Semortan has also launched a campaign against the sale to Vladimir Putin of shares in the company that manages Moldova's railway infrastructure, arguing with that privatization. Privatization. She would transform the nation into a hostage of Russia.
It was some stuff about victims of violence, women's rights,
girl power,
yada yada yada. And interestingly,
words are
part of a push
hard.
to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network to Russia.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't really know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Insta. Oh God, not again.
Not again! Wait, that's a plane? Plane? That's not a ship, right? That's a plane! Is it a plane? It is a plane cockpit. Okay, yeah. It's not the only cock she's getting, I guess. She wanted that cockpit. Mintzey.
You know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Insta. Oh God, not again.
Oh! Lawsuits.
Several civil suits were quickly lodged against Costa Crociere.
Costa Concordia passengers sue cruise company for $460 million. Island where Costa Concordia sank sues for hundreds of millions. Italian officials sue Costa Concordia owner for $275 million over running local tourism. Concordia Dominica suing for 200,000. That's pounds, right? I don't know. Is that pounds? I want to make sure I'm right about it, not saying it wrong. Those euros? I'm sorry. Thank you. Euros. 200,000 euros. Look, I'm blind. My eyes are bad. I can't make out the shape that well. Euros aren't real. Euros aren't real, says the Canadian.
Several civil suits were quickly lodged against Costa Crociere
Is
and their
that-
parent company.
Wait, is that Robot Chicken?
Several civil
Yes. I thought so. I had to go back and look, but yeah, that says Robot Chicken. That's great. The contrast between the dark blue highlight and the black text is pretty rough. Yeah, and like I said, I got bad eyes, so I couldn't really make it out very well.
Several civil suits were quickly lodged against Costa Crociere and their parent company, Carnival Cruises, immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
23%. That's crazy. Can I see that too? We got P&O Cruises, Ida, Cunard, Seabourn, Costa, Holland, Princess Cruises, P&O Australia, Carnival.
Carnival Cruises immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
Don't beat.
Passengers sought compensation for their damaged mental health, lost belongings, and
Yeah.
loved ones.
Either they allowed him to divert from his course, or they didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing
Cruise
financial
line CEO blames captain of Costa Concordia for tragic shipwreck. Bless you, thank you. Hello, Rachel.
They didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing financial and media pressure, the CEO attempted to join the bandwagon against the captain and the crew.
That was not the ordinary route that the ship was taking at the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was
Junior?
claiming that the
Today, Junior. Costa Concordia capsized cruise ship owners blame human error.
and was not only taking, but the time.
Mintzey Woods blew me off a cliff. He blew you off a cliff? That's a weird place to be blowing somebody, but I mean, each their own, I guess.
At the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was.
claiming that the ship
Junior.
was not approved to deviate from the route. But that wasn't true. Approval isn't required if the ship is deviating by less than 15 miles, or that it was against company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about
What? There is no evidence about company rules which address the unscheduled side ship, such as in the event. No, LOL. Deviation from course policy. That's crazy.
company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about deviating route, and they tacitly encouraged sail by salutes. Now,
Of course
in
they
response
did.
to the civil suits, Costa Crociere offered passengers 11,000 euros each as compensation.
That's kind of small.
Yes!
11,000 euros, about
That's
$14,000.
nothing.
is the minimum compensation under international law when a ship is abandoned.
This was to reimburse them for their tickets, as well as any costs they accrued in having to unexpectedly travel home early.
And that was supposed to release them from everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers,
That's
understandably,
wild.
were not too happy.
Despite compensation offer, Italian cruise ship survivors sue for damages. As they should! As they should.
I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were not too happy with this deal, and they refused to take the money.
Good! Good for them! Good for them! It is an insult,
We think that
absolutely.
the compensation being offered is not commensurate.
It's basically like, take this and shut up.
Being offered is not commensurate.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere is now off the hook for
Grosseto, Italy. Costa Cruises, the unit of Carnival Corp that owned and operated the capsized cruise liner Costa Concordia, has accepted a €1 million, £855,000 fine to settle potential criminal charges concerning last year's deadly accident off the coast of Italy. A company spokesman said on Wednesday.
a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere is now off the hook for all criminal liability for the whole
That's
thing. They've washed their hands
crazy.
of the incident and flecked the residual droplets of responsibility onto the faces of 6 staff members.
Yep.
Passengers and relatives of the dead are
Costa
livid.
Concordia trial opens amid victims' anger. Long-awaited trial of Francisco Schettino, captain of the doomed Costa Concordia cruise ship, opened on Wednesday amid passengers' anger that key members of the cruise company have been allowed to avoid testifying.
The faces of 6 staff members.
Your Honor, I
Passengers and
plead to
relatives
bribe
of
you.
the dead are livid that the company has been able to avoid criminal responsibility.
Offered is not commensurate.
Civil suits against the company
Costa Concordia passengers sue. Wait, how much? Sue cruise company for $460 million reduce. Lawyers for 6 passengers file lawsuit in Florida against Costa Cruises, saying firm's €11,000 compensation offer is insulting. It is. It is extremely insulting.
By the way, the residents of the island of Giglio also banded together and sought damages. They didn't
Good for
get much.
them.
Eventually, passengers who refused the initial compensation of $11,000 joined civil parties against Schettino in his trial
As
in
they should.
2015.
Yep.
They were awarded €30,000 each.
30,000? I mean, it's better, but it's not great.
Schettino in his trial in 2015.
Is not commensurate.
They were
Costa Concordia victims of shipwreck receive 84 million euros. More than 11 now. Grosseto, some have yet to receive compensation. The company could still be liable for further damages as the trial comes to an end.
awarded €30,000 each. Other cases, especially those involving lost relatives,
Yeah, the families of the deceased and missing victims and guests who were injured will be covered under a separate proposal based on the individual circumstances, Costa said in a statement without providing further details. A McDonald's cheeseburger costs roughly $2.19, so the passengers are owed roughly 6,393 cheeseburgers.
they were awarded €30,000 each. Other
There you
cases,
go.
especially those involving lost relatives, are settled for undisclosed amounts.
Scams!
New York attorney Peter Renee traveled to Budapest to represent 6 real survivors of the disaster.
Okay.
At Renee, we personally work on every case.
And we'll work harder than anyone to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
And while on the job, a 7th case cropped
Oh
up
my God!
via
Bro! That's great. Wait, what expansion is that? Is that... Oh, I can't tell. Is that... I don't think that's Mr. Pandaria. Maybe? Is it Mr. Pandaria? Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, is that... Oh, I missed when he had this alert. The long boy. The long boy. It was great. The long boy. Nerd, hack you. That's great. Asmon Gold's take on Carson drama. I can barely read that. But man, that brings back memories.
The shortest amount of time.
And while on the job...
Oops, I unfull screened it. Hold on. Wearing your glasses. Barely.
Want to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
And while on the job, a seventh case cropped up via email. An elderly woman, a loner, said,
"Help me, Mr. Ronai, for I have lost my daughter, Eva, and my 5-year-old granddaughter, Roxana."
So Mr. Renai agreed to speak with her. However, there were some inconsistencies in her story.
Right.
Neither Eva nor Roxana were on the passenger list.
Suspicious.
But Costa is known for having stowaways. Still, Mr. Renai was suspicious. They wouldn't cheaty old Petey, would they? Renai inquired further about why she was
Why
on
not
board, especially
on
without
passenger
a ticket.
list,
And Lorna
yeah.
said,
Well, I don't know, but you should ask her boyfriend.
Zolt Horvath.
What a
He'll know all the
name.
details.
I'm up all night. I'm going crazy, he said. But Mr. Renai was still suspicious. Because then she asked, how much money do you think this is worth?
Of course.
This is a huge red flag, Petey. In 20 years of doing
That was
this,
a red flag in 20 years of doing this. Never once have I ever experienced a situation where someone loses a relative and they talk about money. Every family just wants to know what happened. How did it happen? Fair enough, yeah.
This is a huge red flag, Petey. In 20 years of doing this, you've never had anyone ask about money. Why now?
Why now?
So Mr. Renai hired an investigator and sent photos around of the missing girl. The next day, the phone rang. Ahoy hoy, it was the boyfriend again. Look, there's been a bit of a misunderstanding and the child isn't missing at all.
What?
And then he claimed he was confused because he had done too many drugs the night before.
God. Daughter was not missing and it had been a misunderstanding. He told Rone he had been confused because he's done too many drugs the night before. I plead brain rot.
And then he claimed he was confused because
That
he
is
had
not
done
a
too many
smart
drugs the
defense.
night before. Oh. Okay, can I speak to the daughter then? At first, he was refused. So Renai said that he'd have to file a missing persons report to the police if he couldn't. The boyfriend relented. That night, Renai met with Zolt and brought the police with him. He speaks
As
to
he
the
should.
granddaughter and asks her if she's seen Mum. Yeah, I saw her today. Oh, really? Yeah, we went to the park today and we went on the swings. Oh no, the jig was up.
The jig
So
is
the
up.
mum walks into the room sheepishly. It's a miracle. And the story changed again. Okay, I'm not dead, but I did injure my leg when I jumped from the ship. And then I immediately flew back to Budapest. Although don't worry about checking my leg because there are no visible marks or injuries. Oh, Petey, I'm beginning to think they weren't even on the boat. Also, it turns out this lady isn't her mum, it's just a neighbor. Eventually, Renee managed to make the pair confess. And then they said, hey, we haven't done anything wrong. We haven't
But you
taken any money.
have.
And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam.
Really? Really? Hungary, a former communist country, has no insurance fraud laws to deal with the case, according to Rone. Hungary has never had anything like this happen. They don't know how to punish these people. What? I did not know that. I did not know that. All I did was waste time, yeah.
Haven't taken any money. And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam, because Hungary, a former communist country, has no laws against insurance fraud on the books.
The music!
Never sleeps. Call 1-800-6647.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Oh,
that's a very bad idea.
Oh, no. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-800-6647. 1-8 Vada a bordo.
Mario, would you teach me some Italian?
Oh, of course. Means get back on board for fuck's sake.
Okay, thanks.
Gregorio De Falco, the naval officer who shouted at Scatino to Vada a bordo caso, became a bit of a national hero overnight in Italy.
As he should.
He, like the rest of the world, expected Scatino to go down with the ship.
Exactly. Music.
And when the captain chickened out, De Falco was there to admonish him. And when he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him on blast.
But I will really hurt you. I will cause you a boatload of trouble.
When the captain first reported just a blackout, De Falco didn't believe the story and immediately began preparing a rescue effort, which likely saved several lives.
Yeah.
His actions were applauded by most Italians who were tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sporting Vada
That's amazing! Vada a bordo caso. That's great! Vada a bordo caso and keep cruising.
servants being corrupt and avoiding responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sporting Vada a bordo caso were being printed by the end of the week, others setting it as their phone's ringtone. But then, in September 2014, without warning, De Falco was transferred to an admin role in the Coast Guard.
Hear what I said? You've been demoted.
De Falco said that he had been passed up for promotion, that he had also not been told which admin office he was even being transferred to, and that it all effectively cancelled 10 years of his career. De Falco...
Wait, what? De Falco Scatino is in the chair, and I'm sent to the office. This crooked country punishes its servants.
...of his career. De Falco was tres furioso, and there was public speculation that it was owing to bad blood between himself and Admiral Delano, his former boss. His status among the public overshadowed his superior in many ways.
Oh, he got jelly.
On the other hand, his boss said, no, it's part of a normal career progression for naval officers and that he must show more maturity and professionalism to advance his career. Now, it's hard to know what's true in office politics, so let's leave that alone. And anyway, in 2018, De Falco said buenas noches, you later, to the Italian Navy to become a politician. In March that year, he was elected to the Italian Senate, serving as a member for Livorno. He still serves there today.
Good for him! Good for him!
The day after the disaster, Scatino was taken into custody by police and underwent questioning. However, it was clear that this would not be a straightforward investigation. So the judge released him under house arrest at his home in Sorrento, a town in Napoli. By July of that year, the house arrest was relaxed and he was allowed within this general area. While under house arrest, he wrote a book with this journalist from Rai magazine. I have no idea what it says, I don't speak Italian. But goddammit, he must have some kind of charisma going on, because there's been a lot of speculation in the press that he had an affair with her as well.
You can't keep getting
away with
Not content with
this.
abandoning his ship, this dude is determined to abandon his wife as well.
For real?
So,
Jesus.
Scatino and 5 others are facing criminal charges. Straight away, everyone lodges a plea bargain with the court, and all of those plea bargains are accepted, except for Scatino's. And the condition of everyone's reduced sentences are that they must provide witness testimony against
him. Yep.
Scatino.
Yep.
He touched me.
Okay. First officer got 2 years, 10 months. The helmsman got 1 year, 8 months. The third officer got 1 year, 6 months.
We are all given suspended sentences. Roberto and Manrico are able to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal.
Good deal. Good deal.
And that meant that Scatino was now all on his own.
Yep.
Ciro, the first officer, was the first to give his testimony. On the witness stand, he claimed that Scatino was distracted by his mistress
Of course.
and other guests on the bridge. That there was confusion over who was in command.
But he did not immediately speak the phrase, "I'm taking control," which signals a change in command. Ambrosio told the court. However, given the way he positioned himself, I assumed he had taken command, and I thought I was no longer in charge. Then, since the captain was distracted, and we were getting closer to Giglio, I gave orders to the helmsman.
That there was confusion over who was in command. Then it was Jacob's turn. And he said Lamau XD because he didn't actually bother with his testimony or his reduced sentence. He just fled the country. It took authorities 12 months to eventually track him down on the outskirts of Jakarta. And when they said, "Oi, we still want that witness testimony," he just scalped again. And he hasn't been found since.
What? That is crazy! He got away with it! And he hasn't been found since. What? Oh my god! What a slippery little bastard.
Testimony. He just scalped again. And he hasn't been found since. After that, Ferrarini gave his testimony, then look, we don't have time to relitigate the whole trial, so let's just go straight to the verdict. Guilty!
Very.
Scatino was found guilty of multiple manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, abandoning ship, and lying to authorities. He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison.
That's it? I don't know. I mean, for all the shit he caused, this does not seem like much at all. Like, that does not... That does not seem like enough at all. So, like, shut up. That is not enough, if you ask me. Like, I'm no lawyer, but, that does not seem like an adequate amount of time.
Authorities. He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison. But wait, there's still the appeals. The appeals trial begins.
Right.
And the verdict on the appeal? Surprise! Rejected.
As it should be.
So Scatino's lawyers appealed again.
Again?
And the verdict on the final appeal?
Scatino made multiple attempts to secure a plea deal, but was denied by the prosecution each time. The prosecution called for Scatino to be sentenced to 26 years in prison, calling the incident a Titanic affair.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Scatino was not present. His lawyers stated that he was waiting outside of the jail for the ruling, so that if his plea was rejected, he could immediately start serving his sentence. And with that, 5 years and 4 months after the disaster, he was finally in a cell.
It took them 5 years to jail him? Oh my god! I mean, I know things like that can take a long time, but wow.
He was
upgraded to 26 years? There are a lot of cases to go through. Yeah.
finally in a cell.
I will not be making any comment.
Refloating the Concordia. So fancy. Linus! Linus ship tips. I love the reference to Linus. That's great.
The salvage operation was enormous. It took over 2 years and cost an estimated $1.2 billion.
Holy
Beginning
shit!
in early 2012, they first spent 2 months pumping fuel from the ship's tanks. At the same time, they had to pump seawater in so that the balance wasn't affected and the ship didn't slide around.
Oh, right,
In
yeah.
early 2013, a platform was built under the ship to prevent it from falling further. Sponsons were then attached to the sides of the ship and cables attached to the underwater platform. The sponsons were then dragged underwater and opened up to allow the ocean to fill them. The ship could then roll over properly. By late 2013, the ship was upright once more. The sponsons were then attached to the side of the ship to help keep it balanced. It now rested partially above water and crews could walk around safely. By July 2014, the water was removed from the sponsons and compressed air was pumped in to lift the ship.
To lift it, yeah.
And she was ready to cruise again. This time to a port in Genoa. It was a 4-day towing journey to the docks where a 2-year process of dismantling and recycling would begin. That same weekend of the towing, Schettino was busy. He was the guest of honor at a white party on an island in the Bay of Naples. He appeared on the front page of a local newspaper,
of course,
flanked by 2 of Italy's most eligible bachelorettes.
The end.
Anyway, so these are the things that I remember from the Costa Concordia. That sweet maiden of the sea. And as for you, little fella.
He has the bell!
Well,
you
it's
know
time
who
to
looted
return
it now.
From whence you came.
Time to return you from whence you came. What?
6 quick things. 1. NordVPN, good product, check them out. Number 2. There's a new video on the second channel. You probably didn't see it because it was temporarily restricted. Now it's not. Enjoy. 3. If you've never seen the second channel before, give it a go. It's a different type of content, but we put a lot of production into it. It's not just offcuts. 4. There are a couple secret channels as well, but I ain't telling you where they are. 5. No more 45-minute videos on the main channel. Back to 10 to 15 minutes and more of them. 6. There's a Q&A coming out next week on incognito mode. It's got a ton of detail that we had to cut for the sake of brevity and will no doubt feature a ton of corrections as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Spicy.
No, thank you, internet historian, for your videos. They are very good. They are very entertaining. They are very well made. And my community and I have been very much enjoying them. That was great. That was really great. I enjoyed that a lot. I know that this one specifically was one that y'all wanted me to watch. The Cost of Concordia. I learned so much. Me too. Me too.